evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round of Season 6. This is round 22 from Sao Paulo in Brazil. Season 6 of Aussie Formula Racing, Tier 1 and Tier 2 this evening. I'm Gus Rules. It's been a long road. We're finally here. The championship has been decided, but we're here for one final go in this game of F1 2020. So a new game has been released. So after this stream, we'll be uninstalling and getting ready for the new game 2021. So 15 corner circuit, no highlights for you this evening. Everyone's been trying to sort out everything for the new season. And drivers loading into the qualifying session. And I'll be joined shortly by Bandcamp and Baitmate in the commentary box. Alrighty, so drivers are just getting ready. Okay, we've got the first is the Mercedes coming out onto the track. I believe that's going to be probably Panda if I can find my track map, etc. Now, a few drivers are going to be starting from the back of the grid purely by their own decision. So, no quali bans to my knowledge, just so few of them know that, yeah, this is the last round of the season where they'll spice things up a little bit, do a last to first challenge, and good for them. Now, I think we've actually got a Haas on the track in the front. I feel that's Pondon. Here we go, jumping on board with him now. And let's just have a look, still waiting for Mr. Band to join me. So do stay on the stream for the rest of the session. We will be making an announcement at the end of the stream in relation to tracks for next season, as well as the start date. And we'll be making another few informative announcements around next season and what's going to be happening there. So yes, as some people have pointed out, we have Stars is back for another race, so thankfully he's able to come in for the finale. So great to see both Racing Point drivers attending. Yeah, Jacob, no Pepsi tonight either, so he is not attending this race. We'll jump on board with Pondon here as he starts his first lap. It's a very wide entry into the first corner, taking it far to the left, cutting into the second and third corners. Quite easy to invalidate if you're pushing too hard. Hugs it nice and tight though to that line. And he's just missed someone who's come out of the pit exit, so he's not going to get a toe down at the end of the first sector. There's a 16.8, comes around turn 4. Tidy so far from the Haas driver. See a few drivers very close to the cutoff for Tier 2. Just have to see what's going to happen there with the drivers for next season. Pretty tidy through the second sector as well. He's come up to a little bit of traffic. It's one of the things that you'll notice in Brazil. Very, very tight and twisty circuit. And that's a bit tricky to find that clean air. Put in a lap. It looks like the McLaren in front, though, is going to get out of the way. No, they're going to push on for another lap. Might actually help Ponton here if McLaren's starting a lap. No, he's aborted and he's staying in the middle of the road. That's not very good at all. I believe that is Bieber on an outlap on the medium tyres. So I don't think Ponton's going to be too happy with that. That probably does come across the line. Provisional pole with 107.481, and I'm joined in the commentary box by Bandcamp. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. Very good, thanks.
That is excellent. See T-Mac coming across the line with a 107.0. There's provisional pole. And I think we've got some of the Ferraris coming across now. Tring goes P2 with 107.2. Got a Williams of Wahid. Doherty, sorry, goes 106.8. Provisional pole with Wahid coming up behind the other Ferrari of Smitty. Goes P2. Williams locking out the front row for the moment. It's been a very long time since that's happened. We've got Matsoid as well coming across. Start a lap. Looks like he invalidated his first run, so he'll jump on board with the AlphaTauri driver for the rest of this lap.
So a bit of a weather update. Apparently it's meant to be all dry. A little bit of cloud around, so we'll see what happens there.
Absolutely.
But no rain forecast.
Oh, is that... AlphaTauri's lost it, and goes the front wing as well. And Alfa Romeo goes straight through the ghosted AlphaTauri. And obviously next season we will be having ghosting off, so that would have completely ruined the lap of Pozzi there. And unfortunately Matsoy will have to come back to the pits. Jump on board with Panda and the Mercedes, who's currently just behind him in Sector 2 on his first flying run. Qualifying here at Brazil is very similar to Austria. You'll see there'll be very limited spread across all the cars. It's just so difficult to find that extra tenth or so that you need to get from the back of the grid to the front. So expect every little mistake to really count here. Oh, we've got an Alfa Romeo in the middle of the track. Looks like Potsy there had a little bit of a moment out of the final corner. Luckily, it didn't impede Panda. Comes across the line, only good enough for P9, 108.2, so I wonder if he's just turned the engine down a little bit there for that run. Might be just keeping the rabbit in the hat. He's jumping along with the Renault of Combined down in P10.
Still 12 minutes remaining in the session.
Yeah, plenty of time here at Brazil. I think you can, if you're pretty good with your out and in laps, you can normally squeeze in about 4 runs on this track. So plenty of time for the drivers who yet to put one on the board.
And it looks like most of the drivers are happy to go out on the soft tyre. Be interesting to see what strategy plays out, if it's a 1-stop or 2-stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Combined there going 8th fastest, the 107.8. And at the moment, we've got Ponto and Stars at the moment pretty close together, about to start a lap. Oh, actually, I think T-Mac is the... No, that's going to be the other Mercedes. It's just coming into the pit, so it will be Stars to start the next lap. Oh, and he's hitting the rev limiter there. That's not going to be healthy for that Mercedes power unit. And here we go. Currently in P9, 108.054. Let's see what the pink Mercedes can do. Interestingly, a few drivers have taken this opportunity in the final race, now that the championship's pretty much settled, to turn off some assists. We've got Jacob in the chat saying that Panda's turned off his racing line and is apologising in advance for any carnage that may cause. So I wouldn't be surprised. We usually see a few drivers with the new game will turn off some assists and see how they can manage it. There's Page forget, but Panda's bad anyway. Ooh, shots fired in the chat.
Well, Potsy's gone off at the final corner.
Second time he's done that. I wonder if he's just got a little bit of an issue there.
He's carrying on with his flying lap.
Stars coming around the final corner now.
And he's invalidated already.
Oof. Stars has a pretty tidy lap here. He's coming up the hill now, shortening the track as much as he can. And he'll come across the line. Improves by a second, goes P3 with a 106.9. Not bad for a guy who hasn't touched the game in a while. Very good effort indeed. Can jump on board with the Alfa Romeo Potsy. Oh, and he's just gone into the wall. Oh, that was a pretty lucky spot to him after he did that. Yeah, he looks like he actually ghosted before he hit the wall, so I don't think he's got any damage, but yeah, this lap is completely ruined.
Matsoid currently on a lap.
And jump on board with the AlphaTauri driver, who, yeah, unfortunately won't be joining us next season. Has decided to take a break, so all the very best to him. Been a pleasure to be his teammate a couple of times throughout AFR's history, so I hope he has a really good race this evening and gets himself a good send-off while he takes a small break from the game.
Yeah, been with us for a while, so enjoy the break.
There we go, P2 by just 0.05 of a second. That's a great effort there, splitting the Williams on the front row.
Oh, not for long though.
So yeah. Oh, look at that. There's 0.03 of a second between Jordy and Wahid, and just 2.5 between Wahid and Matsoid. So very tight at the top there. It's going to jump on board now with Pacey and the other. AlphaTauri is just starting a lap now, coming through at turn 3.
I wonder if Potsy's played a little bit too much F1 2021 and he's struggling to readjust to the 2020 game.
Yeah, that's been one of the tricky things with the scheduling this season. Obviously, the final race just a few days after the game release, so a few of the drivers, it's spending
Oh,
quite a
he's
bit of
lost
time
it in the
getting used to
final corner again.
There he is. So just catching up to him and pace his car. Hopefully he doesn't get impeded at all. So the yellow flag a little bit further ahead. And he does peel off into the pit, so it won't be impeding Pacey at all on this run. As he comes across the line and improves for just a couple of tenths, so still down in P9 there, so he's got a fair bit of time to find. Psycho Stars has already had some screen time. I gave him a very nice shout out, so you know he can't really show him when he's in the garage either, so let's get out on track and do something worthy of some coverage. As I jump back on board with Trent in the Ferrari, as Potsy has in fact retired, so it looks like he'll be starting from the back as well, and Trent looks like he's backed out of this lap as well, so funny games happening here.
So Big Al and Potsy will not be setting times, and Fever and Macau yet to post a time.
There we go, on board with Stars in the racing point. Psycho, you can tell him that he's he can give us a wave to the T-cam.
Nice helmet.
A little bit of an off-board while he is on his outlap, charging up his battery. Here we go, racing point comes around the final corner, and there he goes flat, starting his lap. And everyone, there's a prediction up, so make sure you have your say. And he's invalidated. Oh no. Turn 2 exit. It's a little bit tricky. He's still going to push through. Oh, he nearly gets the back of his teammate Mikkel there. That was very close. Oh, he's run out very wide there onto the green AstroTurf, and he's lost the rear. He's in the wall. He's out. Stars. Oh dear, Stars. Oh, I gave you plenty of screen time. So P5, not a bad effort, mate. Jump on board with the Ferrari of Speedy. Racing point still sitting there in the middle of the road. Hopefully it clears in a second. Psycho in the chat saying don't listen to me again.
Macau about to start his flying lap.
This is the Ferrari of Smitty about to finish his out. Can't quite tell from this angle, but is Smitty running the can't quite tell if that's is that Senna's helmet. I can't quite see from the off-board shot, but the yellow, white, black and green. And there we go, Smitty P5 with 106.822. Going to jump aboard with Mikau, who's down to 14th at the moment. Bam, would you be able to flick an invite to Pepsi? Looks like... Oh, there he is. Never mind. Ignore me. He's just joined the session. Excellent.
Good. He's able to make the final race.
Yes. And Mikau climbing up the hill. Comes across the line. Goes fastest to 106.649.
A 10th between himself and Geordie.
Absolutely, he's just on his outlap. Oh, his Panda's invalidated, ran a little bit wide there in sector 2, just invalidating on the exit. So, jump aboard with Geordie here in the Williams. He's had a great season, Geordie, so he can finish it off strongly and carry that momentum across into the new game. We do see quite a few drivers struggle to adjust to the new game with slightly different handling models, and hopefully everyone's able to bring their A games.
Yeah, new game does tend to mix up the grid a little bit.
Here we go, Geordie on his run. Bit of a lock up on the front left, but game is pretty forgiving with that. He comes through turns 2 and 3. Hugging that inside line nice and tight. No toe as he runs down towards turn 4. Flicks it in nicely. He goes purple in the first sector. Very tidy on the exit through turn 5. Took a pretty good lap. Flicks it into turn 6. Shifts it down twice. Bit of a left and a little bit of brake. And carries that speed nicely. Short shifting up to control the wheel spin. A little bit of a moment there. Wobble. Had to correct it. Won't affect him too much. Through this tight and twisty sector 2. And short shifting just to control the wheel spin a bit. Is he going to go flat through here? He does. Great commitment. Takes it out wide to just carry as much speed through that final corner as possible. And he comes up the hill. Got a flat using all the rest of his ERS. Comes it nice and tight to that inside. Trying to take the path of least resistance. Shorten the track as much as legally possible. Comes across the line. Improves by half a tenth. And is still just 45 thousandths of a second behind Mikau. So great effort, but not quite there. Going to jump forward with Wahid, who's starting a lap. He's matched his best time in the first sector. See how he goes through the second sector here. Alright, let's shift it down to 1 gear. It's interesting between Geordie and Wahid. Geordie going down 6th gear there. Wahid opting to stay in 7th and just coasting around the corner. Lots of short shifting just to control the traction. Runs a little bit wide over the curb there on the inside.
Faber as well starting a lap. Final attempt on the mediums.
And Wahid about half a tenth behind on his previous best. It's all got to come out of this final straight. Without a toe, I don't know how he's going to find much more time here. Hunks it nice and close to the wall, comes across the line, and he does improve by 10th. He's just 200ths of a second behind Mikau. Oh, he split his teammate and Mikau to take 2nd place, but couldn't quite find. If he'd just been a little bit tidier in the first 2 sectors, he would have been on pole. That was a great lap there from Wahid and the Williams. They jump on board with T-Mac and the Mercedes, who's aborted his lap, so that's that done. We jump on board with Faber then, who
he just crossed the line on the mediums for 10th.
There we go. Jump on board with Trin and the Ferraris coming into the final sector now. About 30 seconds left in the session. Nice and tight to the wall, comes across the line, improves by nearly half a second, goes up to P7, but is out-qualified by his teammate Smitty. There he is, just a tenth and a half behind his teammate there.
Well, Smitty just got a massive toe off the back of Faber as well, down that second DRS straight.
He's up by half a tenth as he goes through sector 2. As we've got a Haas is spun in the final sector. There we go, Smitty up by a tenth. It's going to be good enough to get him onto the second row of the grid if he can finish it off here, as Mikau sets a better time with 106.456, so now 2 tenths clear of P2. And here comes Smitty, no toe in front of him, and he's pushing pretty hard. He comes across the line, improves by a tenth and a half, goes P3 with 106.683, just pipping up Geordie as well by 100th of a second. Jump a little bit further back, we've got Pacey about to cross the line, but he hasn't validated, so it's going to be the other Mercedes of T-Mac who's coming across the line shortly. And is it validated? Oh, it took a little bit too much curb. The pit entrance. And Matsor comes across the line now. Improves by just 100th of a second. And we've got the other Mercedes. Panda, I think, is already finished. So that is it for the session. Just got Faber having to retire. Congratulations to Mika. Yet another pole for the season. Followed by Wahid and Smitty. Rounding out the top 3. Then got Geordie, T-Mac, Matzoid, Trent, Stars, Ponton and Combined. All having to start the race on the soft tyre. We then got Fever, Pacey, Apollo, Pepsi, Panda, Potsy, and Big Al rounding out our grid. Thank you very much for the follow, J-Core. And was there someone else who chucked in a follow there? I think that was Infernos. Thank you very much for the follows.
You got Pondon, Combined, and Fever all on a 107.0.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy how tight this is at this track. Yeah, thanks, Jacob. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make him a little bit bigger if I can. See how that is at 4 size. Yeah, 106.456 is the best time in the session. Just 2/10 further back was Wahid and Smitty. And we've got 1 second covering the top 12. And of everyone who set the time, it's 1.4 seconds covering the top 14, with a couple opting not to settle that, wanting to do a last to first challenge. Yeah, T-Mac and Matsoy just 0.03 of a second apart. Absolutely crazy how close that is.
Yeah, I think we can expect the same in the race. Going to be a very tight field, going to be very difficult to break away.
Absolutely. Now joining us in the commentary box this evening, Bandcamp, will be Baitmate. How are you?
G'day lads. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Hope everyone's doing well.
Indeed we are. Thanks for joining us. So yes, as Ben mentioned a bit earlier, it's going to be a little bit cloudy in the race, but no rain forecast. But Brazil can be pretty dynamic, so we'll just have to wait and see how that cookie crumbles.
Yeah, from the limited sky that I can see, it does look quite dark. So, who knows? I mean, we've been told it's going to be dry before, and we end up with rain towards the end. So that could be pretty spicy.
Absolutely, always makes it a little bit more interesting. Gents, what is our prediction for the race? Any dark horses we're expecting to perform well?
Well, I think obviously Big Al and who else didn't set a time?
Potsy as well.
Potsy. Yeah, I would expect them to come through the field to some degree. Wahid and Smitty really want to be transferring this qualifying result into some decent points tonight. So, yeah, let's see how they go. Be a quite mixed bag, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Wahid definitely showing a lot of pace here as well. Both Williams drivers, in fact, doing exceptionally well. Smitty, good to see him right up the pointy end, so I think we should expect some things for him, although Combat Rat reckons he's going to spin on lap 1. He's in the Ferrari, though, so he is at that disadvantage that it is very likely it's going to happen. Trin as well down in P7. Yeah, let's see how we go. Now, fun fact, you did mention Big Al a bit earlier. Now, he is Ali's brother, if you're not aware, and also Potts' brother. Yeah, they're both brothers as well. And I believe that Trin is their father, so it's...
very interesting.
Yes.
One big happy family.
Absolutely.
A bit of a different grid we see here today. Yeah, sorry, I'm still catching myself up on everything that happened in quality. Bit exciting. Interesting to see what happens.
Psycho in the chat, remember to watch Stars from the Start. I think I've given him too much airtime. I don't want to... The longer I'm not on him, the better he'll do in the race.
So everybody outside the top 10 is starting on the mediums, except for Red Panda, who is elected to start on the soft tyre. As Fever gets disqualified at the end of the formation.
A little bit of contact there, I believe. Just have to see. Hopefully his tyres don't get too cold.
Yeah, he won't be sat there for too long, but being such a short lap, it can be difficult to get the temperatures up in time. So we'll just have to wait and see. It doesn't help that there's a Red Bull all the way back.
That's right, you don't need warm tyres when you have family.
That's right.
Oh no, not too many of those today, lads.
Alright guys, here we go. Lights are coming on, engines are revving. And we're away. Bit of a sluggish start. Looks like the Williams has actually had a pretty decent run on the inside there. And look at the racing point of Stars down the inside. I think he's made up for his position. We got an AlphaTauri around. It looks like it's Matsoy. He's had a bit of a spin. The two McLarens get through unscathed. Very disappointing to see Matsoy fall right to the back. I think Pacey as well might have been caught up in that, but of course, as usual, the leaderboard has gone cactus. We see Stars making it through up into P6 or 7. Once it sorts itself out, I'll know for sure. And great start there, as we see. The Mercedes and the Renault go side by side through turn 6. Panda trying it up around the outside, gets pushed up onto the curb, combined not wanting to give an inch, but it looks like Panda's forced his way through, and a great move there from the Mercedes driver. Gets himself up into the top 10. Drivers all line astern now. You can see Matsoy has caught back up, so at least he hasn't been dropped too far down the order. Now look at that gap already from Mick Gow. He's pulled out a second away from Wahid. Smitty and Geordie staying very close behind the other Williams driver, so it's going to be under a fair bit of pressure until DRS is enabled in the next couple of laps.
Everything's still broken for me.
Yeah. T-Mac apparently is a minute 10 behind. It's actually pretty close by T-Mac standards. He's usually a bit further back than that.
Pacey and Alfa Romeo going side by side. I do not have that person nicknamed.
Yep, so it's Pacey and Potsy. So it looks like Potsy comes out on top there after his last first challenge. Oh, the McLaren has lost a bit of wing. It looks like Feber. Just a little bit of contact there with Pacey down in P13, and he's lost his right end plate. So Feber trying that last first challenge, and he has copped a hit to the wing. Smitty, meanwhile, it looks like he and Geordie swapping places a little bit.
So Matsoy coming into the pits on lap 1, so he must have picked up some damage putting on the hard tyre.
Yeah, about 28 seconds back, and it looked like he had a yellow flag as well at turn 1, so hopefully he won't pick up any more damage there. Here we go, Mikau setting the fast lap of the race, still just outside DRS range, but look at this train forming all the way down to P15. Everyone is within DRS range of each other except for Mikau at the front. Looks like Feber has pulled into the pits now to get that wing replaced, so keep an eye on Matsoy to see if he's able to get that position. He's a little bit too far back at the moment.
Panda seemed to extend off the track a little bit there when Combine's chasing him down. I wonder how many warnings he's on at this point. Yeah,
Panda, I believe, is using no racing line, so still getting used to cold tyres and trying to find the right braking zones, but it's doing pretty well. Someone who's not running assists in this race up to P9.
He's just dropped out of DRS as well, so he'll be under pressure from everyone behind him now.
Trent in the Ferrari closing in on Pondon, who's done pretty well up into P7 at the moment. See Trent getting a pretty good toe, not quite using his ERS. He actually set the fastest third sector at that time, and Geordie setting the fastest lap of the race. It's close right in on the back of Smitty now.
Smitty's closing in on my heat pretty quick from the DRS, but not quick enough, unfortunately.
He's going to keep an eye on Stars now. He looks like he's having a move on T-Mac. The side-by-side going into turn 4. A little bit of contact between the two, but it looks like Stars is coming out on top. He has. Great move there by the Racing Point driver up into P5. Keep an eye on Big Al as well, who's had a great start to the race. He's up 5 places since the start, equal gains as Panda. At the moment, that's where the biggest loser there, losing 10 positions after that spin at turn 1.
Smitty closing in on my heat very fast now. Might think about going down the inside here.
Oh, a bit of contact between the two.
He gets the move done though.
Yeah, so when he comes out of top, doesn't look like there's any damage to Wahid's car at the moment. Looks like Potsy and Big Al going side by side as well through turn 2 and 3.
I wonder what the Williams team will do.
they're going to be a little bit compromised on pit strategy for sure. One of them will have to stay out for a little bit longer than they need to.
Feber sets a fastest lap of the race with some clean air.
Yeah, he still came out in front of Matzoid, so I think Matzoid just struggling for pace on those hard tyres. I think Fever might be able to pull a pit stop with before he has to stop again. He's opted for the soft tyre, so definitely have to stop again at least once. It looks like Fever's, no, it's Apollo Pepsi had a little bit of drama out of the final corner there, so his medium tyres are going to be a little bit cooked after that. He has been able to keep it out of the wall. Stars has picked up a penalty for exceeding track limits.
That's going to hurt him quite a lot if it stays like a DRS train most of the race. Jordy looking pretty alive behind Wahid as well. So I don't know if they'll make the swap at any time, but I'm pretty sure Wahid needs the points.
Panda as well picking up a time penalty, exceeding track limits too much. Potsy putting a lot of pressure on Combined here for P10, the final points paying position.
Yeah, I think we're starting to hit that mark where the mediums are becoming a little bit quicker than the soft tyre.
Interesting comment from Jacob in the chat. McLaren need at least 24 points on Racing Point in order to keep the combined constructors alive. Currently both of them outside of the points, so it looks like Racing Point may be winning the combined constructors at the end of this race.
I think this DRS train is just going to get longer and longer as the race goes on.
Ooh, a little mistake from Panda there. Combined, he's got a good run on him now. Panda again runs a little bit wide, but Combined gets out of the throttle, decides not to go for it. And Panda now dropping out of DRS range of Trin. Might have to regret that decision. To get held up too much by the Mercedes, or he's going to lose DRS on the train in front.
He's almost falling out of DRS on Smitty here. Actually, he just has. I wonder if Williams will make the swap after this then. Yeah, he's completely out of ERS and doesn't have DRS.
No, Combined having a look on Panda at the moment. He goes defensive on the inside. Combined backs out of it a little bit. He's going to use DRS in the next straight as well. He's got the Red Bull of Big Al hot on his heels as well. And Potsy there in the fight as well. Panda no DRS at all to defend with here. Combined has a think about going to the inside, but he'll have to wait till next time around. To lap 9 once mid-cow crosses the line. Should expect to see those on a two-stop strategy coming in the next couple of laps time. I imagine being in this DRS train will be helping them keep it on the tyres.
Combined again pretty close to Red Panda here.
Panda goes very defensive early. Combined around the outside now. Has taken the position, but they're still going side by side through turn 1. Panda's trying to keep his nose in there, but it looks like Combined's got it. Panda going out wide a little bit. There's a little bit of contact between the two, and now Potsy's going to be having a little bit of a look on Panda now. And he has got the position done. Potsy around the outside. Not much you can do there. And Big Al not able to make any ground. Oh, but big mistake by Panda there. He runs out wide, big tank slapper, and there he goes. Big Al goes through as well. Panda losing 3 positions there in a space of 4 corners.
You might start to think of pitting if you were Panda. Now being on a worn, slow tyre behind some medium runners.
Yeah, the other problem as well, though, is he's going to lose DRS. He will be in clean air if he comes to the pits now, but yeah, just won't be getting any of that little bit of a tow. That'll help him pull away. Can't deny him. As we see, the two Williams drivers are swapping position now. Geordie goes through. Not sure if that was planned, but Geordie seems to be carrying a bit more pace, and now he's got his eyes forward on the Ferrari. As we see, Potsy's made his way through combined as well into turn 1, but he's got a little bit deep as well. He's going to compromise his exit, and we see Big Al as well go through combined as he's run a little bit deep as well. And now Panda's coming back at the Renault driver, and he's going to have that assistance of DRS as well.
Well, Panda's using a lot of ERS here. Yeah, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, we see Big Al get through on Potsy. And we've still got the Mercedes and the Renault side by side, but Panda has got the position as well. And now up to Potsy, who's hot on the heels of Big Al, so close behind the Red Bull. And he's going to have to wait a little bit.
And that gap now out to 2.8 seconds for Big Al and Trin. That was just outside the DRS range. So this squabbling has cost him a little bit of time now.
And look behind as well. Pacey's got the gap down to 3.5 seconds, so he'll be on the back of this train in a matter of a couple of laps.
Trin's living very close on the back of Pondon here. I think he might even go for a move. He's got a great run with ERS. Yeah, goes side by side with Pondon.
Pondon tries to hang around the outside. Yeah, Ferrari just came way too much speed. And later on the brakes as well.
Trin was stuck behind him for quite a few laps. He was about 3/10 behind him for at least 3 laps.
Yeah, Pondon doing very well though to keep in front of the Ferrari for so long. He's really been able to hang on to the back of that train in front of him. And he's still set to gain quite a few points. So Fever picking up a penalty for exceeding track limits.
All by his lonesome on as well, so can't point the finger at anybody on that one. And he's taken a fair bit of time out of Apollo and Pacey. When he pit, he was 22 seconds behind. So definitely pushing pretty hard.
Absolutely. At the front of the field, and Smitty now 3 seconds behind Mick out. He's pulling that gap out quite a bit. Geordie just about inside DRS range though of the Ferrari, so looks like the decision from the Williams pit wall to swap the drivers around seems to pay dividends. Wahid's been able to stay within DRS of his teammate, and Geordie now on the verge of getting some DRS on the Ferrari as well, so good work by the Williams boys.
Stars is getting pretty close to the back of Wahid here. I wonder if he's going to burn some of his ERS to try and get past. He's got so much.
Yeah, here he goes. Use that overtake button now. You can see the light starting to flash on the Williams in front of him. And he's going to go for a move even before the DRS zone there. And great move by Stars up to P4. Wahid looks like he doesn't quite have the pace to keep up with these guys at the moment, but he's still going to get DRS, which will keep him in front of T-Mac for a little bit longer.
Stars does have 6 seconds of penalties as well.
Yeah, so I don't think Wahid will be too worried about losing that spot. Just follow him through. See, Stars though already up to 3Ks behind Geordie now and looking to make a move into one of those corners. So great pace from the Racing Point driver.
So the pit window is now open for the one-stop strategy. Apparently, according to AWS. Also, Big Al has closed that 2.8 second gap down to 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, he's towing Potsy along with him, just on board with the Alfa Romeo driver now, and yeah, you can see all the cars in front now, so it's almost one big train again.
Yeah, Red Panda and Combined not really able to go with him.
And we see the Williams of Wahid peeling off into the pits now, so he's the first one to pull the trigger. No one else comes in, no, so he's going for a bit of an undercut now. He did say in the last lap he seems to not quite have the pace of those around him, so want better opportunity to try and pull an undercut. So have to keep an eye on where he comes out. And see if
that's also...
respond.
Sorry, that also works out for Williams because we were talking that they may trip over themselves when it comes to the stops. So
speaking of Stars and Geordie having a little bit of a battle, Stars been able to get through up into P3 now. Decided to make his move down at turn 4. Racing Point now up into P3, so double podium on the cards now for Racing Point.
Starting to see a few gaps open up now as well.
Yeah, Wahid's lot into one of those between Apollo Pepsi and FIBA, so both McLarens fair way apart. Now let's see if there's any reaction in front. Mikhail stays out. A bit of a look. The other Williams is in, so Geordie reacting to his teammate's undercut. And we see the Haas of Pondon come into the pits as well. Everyone else staying out though, no one else wanting to react. Now let's keep an eye. Here comes Wahid to straighten out. We see Geordie. Here's a fresh set of medium tyres. There goes Apollo Pepsi. Wahid crossing the finish line now. Bit of a weird pit exit here. So we see Wahid has got the position on Pondon. Is he going to get his teammate with the undercut though? He looks like he's got a very good run out of the final corner. He's going to be very close. He's just behind his teammate, but it looks like that undercut has got him a little bit closer. So...
That was very close.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Back within DRS range.
Exactly, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to scare the Racing Points a little bit, and possibly the Ferrari of Smitty. It's going to be under a lot of pressure here. Both the Williams drivers showing a lot of pace on those fresher tyres now. They may be a bit vulnerable to being undercut here.
Both Mikau and Stars don't have DRS as well, so don't really have the luxury of pushing too quick.
Yeah, both Williams as well don't have any traffic, so they're able to push on those fresh tyres quite a bit more. They are about to catch up to Apollo Pepsi though, 1.5 seconds down the track, but he's been on those mediums for 14 laps as well. There we go, we see Smitty, Stars and T-Mac react now. So let's have a look and see where they're going to come out relative to Geordie, who's currently in P12. He's coming onto that straight now. We can see them all in the pit lane. Now they're going to come out of the pits. There we go, we can see Smitty now at the pit exit.
Potsy gets past Big Al just then.
Here we go. Geordie is going to have a little bit of toe on Apollo Pepsi as well. He's going to have DRS. Smitty is going to be on the left-hand side there, and he's got the jump on Smitty. The undercut has worked, and Geordie is up into P8. Smitty comes down in P9. Stars in P10 as well. Wahid a little bit further behind. He wasn't quite able to get the position back on Stars, but Smitty there, very vulnerable to the undercut, and it has worked out for Williams.
Smitty is right there though, almost pushing Geordie through the corner. And Apollo Pepsi, oh, this is going to be interesting.
There goes Mikau. Mikau peels off to the pits now. We should see
Panda picking up another time penalty.
Trin peels off into the pits as well now, so let's see if Geordie is getting held up too much by Apollo Pepsi.
He lost the rear end a bit there, Apollo Pepsi, so it should be an easy pass.
I think Pepsi, oh no, does peel off into the pits, so it should be a mega toe here for the Williams. Smitty as well, getting a little bit of a toe. Oh, he's going to get the jump on Trin as well, I think. That is to be expected. Trin was a fair bit down the order when the Williams pit. Yeah, Trin, well outside the points now. He's lost out a fair bit by not pitting a little bit earlier. See, there he is, just slotting in behind the Mercedes of T-Mac there in P11.
Smitty not able to get past Apollo Pepsi, so this is really going to hurt him now. It's going to relieve Geordie of some of that pressure.
Smitty all over the back of Pepsi.
He just needs to wait for the DRS because he can't afford to make the move and then for Pepsi to come right back past.
I was worried he was going to go for a Hamilton there.
Yeah, absolutely. And poor Alex Albon getting a dive bomb down the inside. Let's jump a little bit further up. Looks like Mikau has got past Pacey, so no dramas there with traffic.
Smitty should get past the Pepsi here as well, and Stars maybe looking to try and get something done here as well as Pepsi
bit of
and
contact.
Smitty lock wheels.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there between the Ferrari and the McLaren. Paulo Pepsi doing very well to control that spin. And here comes Stars, who's got a very good run on the inside of the McLaren, and he's not being held up much at all by that McLaren. So Smitty be a little bit annoyed that it was so much more difficult for him. We'll see Wahid as well
down the
going for a
inside,
move. Pushes the McLaren off track. He actually gets a penalty for picking up another warning down. Well, McLaren won't be too happy with that, but Wahid again making light work of the traffic there. Stays with the racing point. Ooh, so Paulo Pepsi has a little bit of a moment there. His tyres seem to be a little bit cooked. Thank you very much for the follow, Shaw Joseph.
Don't think we'll be far away from these medium runners pitting that have been on them since the start of the race. Maybe 1 or 2 more laps.
You see Big Al as well at the front, very close behind Potsy. As you see, Paulo Pepsi losing ground there to T-Mac. Still battling him, keeps in front, but yeah, Mercedes has got the inside line. And he does actually get a penalty for taking too much curve there. As the Ferrari have Trin now around the outside, manages to get the position on the McLaren, but it's making it very difficult for the Ferrari, who's boxed in now with the Mercedes in front. Oh, there's a nearly touched tyres there. And Trin gets his position. T-Mac there in front, I think a little bit of a moment on the exit of turn 4. He's able to keep control of the car. P9. Big out now, getting past Potsy at turn 1. Now for Romeo, pretty close behind. I don't think he'll have DRS. He does. He's going to come back up the Red Bull now. Not quite showing enough speed to get the position back, but very well done by Big Al. We've seen a few times this season that Big Al just waits for that right moment to make his move. And I think that's another one right there. So he doesn't really have an answer for it at the moment. Big Al saved his tyres, and now he's able to push for the rest of the stint. Try and extend that gap and do a little bit of an overcut on the cars a bit further behind, and then he'll come back at them with the soft tyres towards the end of the race. Got a nice gap on Mick at the moment. It's about 4 seconds, but after pit stop they're probably about 15 seconds behind. And that'll slot them in. Tricky to say.
He might be lining up a move here on Pacey unless he goes into the pits.
Yeah, Geordie's right behind him now.
There we go. We see Big Al and Potsy both coming into the pits now. So they're going to go to the end from here, you'd imagine. Pacey's going to follow them in. He doesn't. He stays out. Geordie should get the move done now. Pacey stays left. Geordie goes right. Bit of a lock up, but he's able to get it turned in for the corner. And there he goes. Geordie up into P2. So about 4.5 seconds behind Mick now. So that gap has come down a little bit from a bit earlier in the race. He's still got a lot of clean air now, but he's got a 2.5 seconds behind to Smitty. So a little bit further down the order. Looks like Big Al has slotted into P11, Potsy P12. Nice little gap to the cars in front. Condon, meanwhile, closing in on Apollo Pepsi for P9. Pepsi going very long on those medium tyres. Same strategy as Pacey. 20 laps have been on them.
I'd be expecting them to come in this lap, surely. Although Pacey has been managing the time pretty well, is definitely losing time, however.
Combine seems to be trying to outdrive himself a bit to catch Panda. He keeps on getting within 2 or 3 tenths and then making a bit of a mistake. He's still within DRS though, so...
Oh, as we see the Red Bull there of Big Al getting through on the inside of Condon there. Can't even see that one coming. And Paulo Pepsi stays out. Big Al, big dive. Gets the move done.
Almost loses it there.
Yeah, Pepsi really struggling on those tyres, locking up a fair bit on the front left.
Potsy making a move on Pondon now into turn 4. It's done comfortably on those fresh soft tyres.
Pondon will be kicking himself. He was just about to get past Pepsi potentially on that lap. And then instead everyone else gets past him. And he's still behind Pepsi.
Yeah, Potsy up into P10 now. Apollo Pepsi down to 11th. Just wonder if Pondon going to be able to go to the end on those medium tyres. Still got another 14 laps to do. We haven't really seen anyone. Well, Pacey's done 21 on the medium, so...
Smitty on Pacey now, unless Pacey goes into the pits finally.
No, Pacey's staying out.
Smitty should be able to get it done.
Just all his ERS though in this move. Still side by side with the AlphaTauri. And look at the racing point of Stars. He's got a mega run on the two of them. Here he goes, tries to go around the outside. Oh, there's contact with the Ferrari. The Ferrari's lost some end plate there.
Oh, it's Stars.
Oh wow.
Oh, retirement.
Contact there between Stars and Pacey. And Smitty losing an end plate. That was just very, very messy.
No safety car.
Virtual safety car is out. Apologies, didn't quite catch the camera angle on that one. We saw the end plate of Smitty go flying, and then, yeah, we just lost the angle there, unfortunately. But yeah, Pacey is out. Let's have a look at Smitty. We've got green flag again.
I don't know if Smitty's going to be able to hold on here with that wing damage.
He's going to have to come into the pits, so we'll just see if Stars, he managed to get away with that without any wing damage. Look, it looks like he's got his whole wing intact.
Staying out.
Smitty
spitting.
Combined gets his move done on Apollo Pepsi. Apollo Pepsi actually coming from the wrong side of the track into the pits. Had to wait for Combined to go through before doing it. And he sped into the pit lane as well. 5-second penalty. Not a great race here from Apollo Pepsi, unfortunately for him. T-Mac though up into P5, just a couple of tenths behind Wahid now.
T-Mac locking up, almost collecting the back of Wahid there.
Matzoid finally in front of somebody else other than Feber this race.
He's been on those hards for 21 laps, so he's going to struggle to take those to the end. May find himself being overtaken as well.
T-Mac's going for a move on Wahid here. Should get it done way before the corner.
Going sector 2 yellow. Looks like Matzoid's had a little bit of a spin. Putting the mocker on him. The commentator's curse. He's now last in the field, so...
I didn't do anything!
That was all you, Band, so you can take the bill from AlphaTauri for that one.
You've done it again, Band.
Well, you know me, I do what I can.
Closing in on the back of Wahid now, just a couple of tenths in it. Wahid just doesn't look like he's got the pace on the medium tyres as he showed a little bit earlier on the softs. Trent's all over the back of him now, and Williams just seems to be going backwards at the moment.
Well, he also was the first driver to stop, was Wahid, so...
He's got to do everything he can to hold on to the back of this and stay within DRS, because everyone ahead of him has penalties, apart from first and second. So he could make some good positions here. As he's
T-Mac under pressure from both. Looked like Wahid had closed the gap as well nicely towards Mercedes, and T-Mac under pressure. May lose 2 positions here.
Trent's got a decent amount of speed here, but I think they're both still too far back. T-Mac got a very good exit through there.
Yeah, I think Trent really got compromised by Wahid trying to make a move on T-Mac. He had to get right out on the pole. He would have had Wahid into turn 1. He just getting a little bit of extra assistance. The DRS was enabled for the Williams. It was within that 1 second margin of the Mercedes. And now look at this train. We've got Big Al Potsy joining up on the back of it now.
This combine gets all over the back of Pondon. Don't think he'll be able to do much though, unfortunately. Pondon's got DRS from Panda in front of him. As Trin has got a very good run on my heat here. Goes for a move down the inside on my heat. T-Mac locks up in front of him. They're going side by side now, Wahid and Trin. Trin has to go a little bit wide to avoid contact. He's using a lot of ERS now, Trin. He's got a pretty good run on my heat. I wonder if he's going to go for the inside. The side's better of it. Oof, almost gets contact there with the Williams.
Oh, as Wahid's in the wall! Wahid's in the wall!
Oh, that is... that's a lot of damage on that front wing. Oh, he is missing a lot of that front wing. He's going to struggle bringing that in, and the cars behind are going to have to be careful here.
Oh, as Panda makes a quick duck to the right to avoid collecting Wahid there.
Yeah, we called Wahid looking like he was struggling a little bit under the pressure of the cars behind, and yeah, just getting a little bit too wide on the curb at turn 4, lit up the rears, and they just spat him across into the inside wall. So lucky not to take out anyone else with him.
Potsy on Trin now. He's got a great run.
Yeah,
The two drivers I said really needed to convert this qualifying, like Wahid and Smitty.
Sorry, Ben.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, Trin losing out there. Both Potsy and Big Al getting through, and he's now down to P7. See Wahid peels up into the pit, so he's got that front wing replaced. He's lost the position to Smitty, who's almost back in the points. He's just 12 seconds behind combined now. The two McLarens have just gone past Wahid as well. Looks like Thieber about to make a move on his teammate. If there'll be any team orders here.
Potsy might go for a move on T-Mac here. Potentially Big Al as well. Big Al might be a bit too far back. Whoa. T-Mac just teleports back a little bit there. I'm not sure what happened. Potsy gets through, and I'm sure Big Al is keen to get through on the next straight. As yeah, T-Mac does not get a great exit from there. Big Al's going to go around the outside. Opens DRS. It's going to be in a great position here, although T-Mac is still holding the inside. But the superior tyre grip from Big Al just still enables him to stick around the outside, gets the position. He's getting a bit keen on T-Mac now as well. Seems to be struggling a little bit, whether it be a little bit excessive tyre wear or the pressure or whatever it is. He seems to be struggling a little bit.
Lap 30 of 36, and we've got a yellow flag.
So Matt's always had a spin at turn 3.
Big Al's right behind Potsy here with DRS. Still a bit too far back though, unfortunately.
It's been a day for AlphaTauri to forget.
Well, battle between the two McLaren drivers, Fever versus Apollo. Side by side going through turns 2 and 3. Fever has got, there's contact. There's wheel-to-wheel contact on the straight. They look very reminiscent of the Ferraris in real life.
He's coming back at him. They're still side by side.
And Pepsi keeps the position.
For now,
Big
Fever
dive
really
from Fever.
struggling.
Oh, he has to take the curve. Gets a good squeeze from his teammate. Yeah, Andreas probably on the radio at the moment, pulling his hair out.
Ooh.
Fever with a nice little move around the outside, which becomes the inside. And Fever up into P12. Great
I don't
move.
know if that's a bit too soon. I mean, Apollo Pepsi has a fair bit more ERS, and he's just going to go walking right back past. As he does right there.
Arrivederci.
T-Mac picking up a 3-second time penalty.
It's got a good run on Pepsi as well, heading into turn 4, but not quite enough pace to get it done.
So P12 and 13 providing all the entertainment at the moment. Fever on a fair bit older tyres, 9 laps versus Pepsi's 6 laps.
We had to lock up a little bit there, Fever, just to avoid colliding with the back of his teammate. Oh, he does it again. He nearly runs into the gearbox. I think he's going to wait now for the RS. Here, Ponton and combined. Battle. Just having a little bit of a battle there at turn 1.
Stars, Potsy and Big Al seem to be having a pretty good battle up ahead. I'm pretty sure Potsy is all over the back of Stars.
Oh, big dive from Fever. Fever collides with the back of his teammate. Has to get right out of the throttle to avoid spinning. Did well.
He ran out of VRS charge, so he had no more power.
No power in that McLaren. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
GP2 engine.
There we go, Potsy.
Yes, it's a lot better. A lot slower than before.
Sounds just like him, Ben. There we go. Potsy has a mega run on Stars now. Gets a little bit of a squeeze from the racing point. He moves up into P3. Stars has to settle for P4. Big Al right behind him as well. Nice
Potsy
little
lost
battle.
the rear end a little bit there. Oh, this might get real close here. Stars definitely struggling on those older mediums, but the softs aren't exactly new on Potsy and Big Al.
Oh, big moment from Big Al. Big tank slapper. That's cost him.
This might enable T-Mac to get within DRS.
Absolutely. Almost the second mark. He might actually have him.
Ooh.
I think he's just outside by about a 10.
Lucky. Combine's gotten past Pondon as well. Oh, that's right, yeah, that was on turn 1.
Fever much closer to Apollo Pepsi this time around. We might catch it on the straight. Quite close enough yet. He should get him in the second DRS straight though. Saved his ERS with this exit. Still not using it. Let's say Pepsi's doing very well to keep his teammate at bay.
I think Fever might be just saving it up for a moment so he can just make that one big push to get past. Lap 35 or 36 now as Macau crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah, that lead is now growing to over 9 seconds, so very dominant performance once again from Macau. Have a look at Panda. Oh, is it Panda? No, it's Trent and T-Mac side by side into turn 1.
Trent gets a move done, but T-Mac will now have DRS for the second DRS zone.
Using a bit of overtake as well. The Ferrari goes to the inside to cover. Mercedes will have to go the long way around. He's got enough straight line speed. He's able to get the position. Moves up into P6.
I think Big Al has accepted as well that if he just sits behind Stars, he will still get the position with Stars being on 6 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, but Potsy's right there. Is it tempting few extra points?
Stars
There's
still
Macau.
has DRS.
Macau crosses the start-finish line to start the final lap. Panda picking up another penalty.
That might allow Smitty to come back into the points.
So just quickly, Stars on 6, T-Mac on 6, Panda on 9, Pepsi on 11, Feber 3, Wahid 3, and Matsoid 3.
Looks like Trent's lining up another move here on T-Mac, and he waited till the second straight this time. Gonna get the move done well before the corner.
There he goes up into P6. And have a little look at Pondon. Still battling with Combined there for P9. Great little battle there. Going to drop back to the McLarens. They're going side by side into turn 1. Paulo Pepsi still in front of his teammate. He's going to be very vulnerable now without DRS. He's very defensive.
Big Al's getting all over the back of Stars there.
Macau comes across the line and he wins the Brazilian Grand Prix in the final round of Season 6 for AFR Tier 1. Congratulations to him. Have a little bit of a look back. Geordie is going to come across the line in P2. Stars, Big Al and Potsy still battling it out for the final podium position. And it looks like Potsy nearly ran out of fuel there because very slow across the line. And Stars dropped down to P6 on penalties. Got T-Mac
Trent gets a sneaky P5 after that.
Yeah, T-Mac across the line in P7. Panda across the line in P8, but he'll drop a lot with those penalties. And Smitty will come across the line. He may actually sneak into the points here if he can come across the line. He does by 6,000ths of a second. Smitty for Ferrari comes across to get the final point of Tier 1 for the season.
I had 30,000 channel points riding on that.
Damn,
oh dear. well done, Smitty.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well done, Ferrari. And Potsy, driver of the day, starting towards the back of the grid, getting up into the top 5. Solid effort from him. But congratulations to Mikau. Been a very, very strong season for him. And he claims another win.
What a way to cap it off.
Absolutely. Very well done to Geordie as well, coming across in P2. Potsy as well, getting another podium for the season. Solid effort from him. And I believe with that, Racing Point has claimed the combined constructors across Tier 1 and Tier 2. McLaren, neither driver getting in the points. They needed to outscore Racing Point here to keep it going into the Tier 2 race this evening. Fastest lap of the race goes to Feber with 108.246, but he will not get any points as he was outside the top 10. Off the podium, we had Big Al, Trin, Stars, T-Mac combined, Pondon and Smitty rounding out the points with Panda, Feber, Apollo Pepsi, Wahid, Matsoid as well, with Pacey, the only person not to finish this race. Thank you everyone for tuning in for the Tier 1 race. We'll be back in about 15 minutes time for the Tier 2 race. And we'll be getting some announcements ready for you as well after that Tier 2 race around driver lineups and also around the calendar for next season. So do stick around for that. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you to Band and to Bakemate for joining me in the commentary box for this race. We'll be back shortly. Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for Tier 2 for the final round of Season 6 here at Aussie Formula Racing from Sao Paulo in Brazil. Just loaded into the qualifying session. It's a little bit overcast, so I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of rain in this qualifying session. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Of course, we're driving around this very famous track at Interlagos. 15 turns, 4.3 kilometre circuit. Pretty quick lap, around about 1 minute and 6 seconds roughly. Just waiting for these drivers to load into the session. We should see them on their way shortly. Now, it's taking a very long time to take to the grid. I wonder if we're just expecting some rain in the race and they might be loading some wet setups. Hopefully with all the answers we'll have Apollo Pepsi joining us. And here he is indeed. Pepsi, how are you and
Hello.
what can you tell us about the weather?
Tell us about what?
The weather.
Cloudy and cloudy.
Okay. See
So
how it goes.
should be fun. Hopefully.
Alright, well, we've got the Renault Oz skins out on track at the moment. Let's
Now,
have a look and see how he goes. Hero's retired from the session. Obviously, he's going for a last to first challenge.
so about to discuss, but I'm going over to I need to do something about my ear.
No worries at all. Stay have all the skins on this lap. As in, physically his left ear's not working, or his earphones. Ben clearly likes the sound of that, but don't know why. Bit odd, that fellow. Alright, Skins starting his lap now. Opens up the DRS. Pretty tidy through turn 1. Misses Apex turn 2, runs a bit wide, doesn't invalidate, but that's going to hurt his time so much as he comes down the straight towards turn 4. And he's backed out already, so we can jump and walk with the Alfa Romeo of King J just behind him. Pretty tidy lap so far from King J. Comes up the hill to finish his first lap. Skins does indeed set a time of 112.005, but King J immediately beats that with a 108.4. Going to jump further back. One of the race points of Psycho comes across the line of 7.7. Combat Rat's about to come across the line on the medium tyre, setting a 107.863. Got the AlphaTauri of Nemo about to come across the line, set to 108.3, followed by the Ferrari Sax with 108.187. One of the AlphaTauris there, I believe that's Anarchy. He's coming into the pits. So we'll jump back to the Williams of Mr. Spicer. Comes across the line. And he goes through to the pole with 107.4. Also got one of the Mercedes on a lap at the moment. And that's Keepers, actually the lead one there. As Batemate has lost it in the second sector. He's actually retired without setting a time. So it looks like here on Batemate will be starting from the back of the grid. Championship rivals alongside each other. Keeper goes T7 for 108.661. And jump on board with, who is it? Here we go, the Renault Bandcamp. No, Skins, it's 107.653. We'll put the other AlphaTauri. Oh, King J again, coming into the pits this time. Pretty much everyone will be coming in. We can see Decelerate on his out lap at the moment, so jump on board with the Red Bull driver now. Okay, guys, make sure you jump on board with the prediction in chat. will both Mercedes finish in the points, I believe it is. I can read that correctly.
I'm back.
Apparently Batemate's force feedback just decided to switch off, and that was why he DNF'd in the second sector.
Alright, I'm back.
No worries, Pepsi.
So what have I missed?
Batemate retired, Hero retired, and Mr. Swice is on provisional pole.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Oh, big moment from Decelerate there. Lost the rear, does keep it going, pointing in the right direction. Comes across the line, goes P10 with a 108.514. We do have one of the Haas's is on a lap, that'll be Mika.
Yep.
Jeremy goes P8, jump aboard with Bandcamp, about to finish his lap. P10 for the Renault driver. Anarchy is about to come across the line as well. And stays P14. Thank you very much for the Paulo Papucci. And we jump aboard with Psycho. He's about to start his second flying lap. Oh, took too much curve there, did Psycho, and he's invalidated the lap. And have a look back now, Nemo just behind him on a lap.
Ben giving Skins a bit of a tow before he enters pit lane to start his lap.
Yeah, it'll be good for Skins. Currently a couple of tenths behind Mr. Spicer on used tyres, so looking to improve a bit there. Nemo going purple in sector 2.
Skins beats that, goes purple sector 1.
Go Nemo P2 with 107.630. Got the Mercedes the keeper. Is about to finish his lap. 7 tenths up on his current time.
Mr. Spicer improved his time to a 7.1.
So both Mercedes currently inside the top 10. Better get those predictions in, people. Get some channel points. Currently both Mercedes are going to start at the top 10.
Skins purple sector 2 now.
And jumping aboard with the Renault now. Comes across the line, goes P2, just a tenth behind Mr. Spicer now. So great lap there from the Renault. With Decelerate, who's getting ready to start his flying lap. Oh, he loses the rear a little bit at the final corner.
got Mika coming to start his lap now.
This is L8 matching his first split. Looked like in turn 2 he was a little bit shallow, had to get out of the throttle to make sure he didn't invalidate. Nothing too bad in the second sector. Oh, and a big spin from the Red Bull, and he's in the wall, losing a fair bit of his front wing. And he's going to have to do a little bit of a spin to get out of that one, but that's that lap ruined. He's going to jump up with Mika now, who's also on a lap.
And Combat has started his first soft run.
Mika currently half a second up, goes purple in the second sector.
So that's bug.
Either that or everyone's quick in the second sector.
All that.
There goes P5, 107.7. Jumping ball with Combat right now. He's also half a second up. Should be good enough to get him onto the second row if he can maintain his pace.
Might even beat Skins.
There goes P3, 107.5. Great lap for the racing point. And we have
Well,
Anarchy just came across the line. P12, 108.2.
Combat lost most of that time probably on the exit onto the straight.
Just on board with Ali now. He's currently sitting in P5, just 200ths of a second behind Nemo. The lock-up going into turn 1. He's got the Alpha Tauri of King J hot on his heels, so I just hope this doesn't put too much pressure on Ali. Knowing that he's got Romeo behind him. King J's going to get a little bit of a toe here on all the straights, so this is going to help him out. Get a little bit extra time. Just hope he doesn't catch the Red Bull in front of him.
Don't want to catch in the second sector.
No, definitely ruin both their laps if it happens.
Mr. Spice has had a spin or
I
something.
think he slowed down. He's on an out lap, so I think he was just letting the Alpha Tauri through. That's Anarchy, I think, on an in lap. Here's Ali. Still going pretty good. It's not too bad a lap. Turn 4 was a little bit hairy, but otherwise it looks pretty good. 2.5 tenths up on his time. That'll be good enough to put him into P3 just in front of Combat. See how he goes. See King J's dropped off a little bit, so expect him to improve slightly, but not get into the 107s at this point. And here comes Ali across the line. 107.3, good enough for third place. King J comes across in P9 with a 108.004. Nemo has invalidated his lap, and we're going to jump aboard with Keeper, who's about to finish his time. And he goes up to P8, so 107.762. Now we've got his teammate Nuts currently on an out lap. I don't think we've got anyone else on a flyer. Oh, we do have Mr. Spicer, but he's invalidated, so let's jump aboard with Nuts. P11 at the moment, about to start his lap. Got 4 minutes left in the session, so everyone should have enough time to do another run, so those in the pits still have plenty of time to come back out. Currently half a tenth up on his time. Won't quite scrape into the top 10 with that. He needs to find a bit more time throughout the rest of the track. Oh, he shifts down to 5th gear there. Normally we see people not dropping below 6, something running as high as 7th. He locks up as well. It's going to hurt his time. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him as well. Hopefully they'll stay out of his way. And it looks like the Red Bull getting in the way. Runs a bit deep to stay out of the Mercedes way. Actually goes off track there. And I think that's distracted Nart. He's touched the grass. I don't think he's going to be too happy with that. And yeah, looks like he's invalidated. Or at least, yeah, he's nearly 3 seconds down now. So this lap is ruined. Then we move on with Mr. Spicer, who's about 500ths of a second off his Delta, and looks like he's backed out of it as well. So might be coming back into the pits to get another fresh set, or just recharge to go again. Let's see, 2.5 minutes. Probably doesn't have enough time to come back into the pits.
Nah, there's no time.
He's running very low on fuel as well, so he'll be pressed for time to try and come back into the pits and get that sorted. Should just be able to do it, but be under the pump. Gonna jump
You
all
need
with
to be
back.
out before 1:30 to actually get a time in.
Yeah, you don't want to push too hard on your outlap either, because otherwise the tyres will fall off a little bit at the end of your flying lap. Vass is on a lap at the moment though, so we'll jump on board with the AlphaTauri driving now. Currently, he and Decelerate the only drivers on a lap at the moment. Looks like he's actually backed out as well. Very easy through some of those corners. Yeah, 2.5 seconds down on his Delta, so he's winding up to go again. And we'll stay on board with him while he does that. Very nice turn 1 and 2 from the AlphaTauri driver. Turn 3 pretty tight as well, keeps it nice and tight. Just comes around the corner. And he goes 10 quicker. Might be able to break into the 107s if he can maintain this pace. We've got a Mercedes off the track up ahead. Hopefully it doesn't rejoin in front of the AlphaTauri, doesn't. Tidy so far from Vassar. Yeah, 3.5 tenths up on his time. Should get him inside the top 10. Just has to finish it off here. He's not going to have a tow. Gets it nice and tight to the wall. And he'll come across the line. Improves by half a second. Goes up to P6. So great effort from him. Now I'm going to jump back. Accelerate. He's coming across the line now. Improves by half a second up to P7. Great lap there. Ali as well, coming across the line. He's got about a 10th in hand. Improves by a 10th, goes up to P2 with 107.207. Going to jump on board with the Haas of Mika. Comes across the line, improves by a 10th as well, up to P5. And then we've got the first of the Ferraris as well. Across the line. In fact, we've only got the one Ferrari tonight. Bully unable to join us with incident issues. Zaxo across the line in P4 with 107.4. And that is the end of the session. So we're going to jump back to skins now. Comes across the line, improves by 2/10, goes provisional pole for the AlphaTauri as well. I think that is Anarchy. Doesn't improve. Got the Renault of Bandcamp about to come across the line now as well. Goes up to P13. Got the racing point of Combat Rat. And Psycho comes across the line. 1.63 10th improvement up into P6. And we've got his teammate as well. Combat Rat currently about a 10th off his pace. Let's see how he goes as he comes across the line as well. Improves by 10.5, goes P4 with 107.402. We do have a couple of the Red Bulls coming now as well. Ali is not on a lap. Decelerate isn't either. I have a feeling that no one else is on a flying lap. Maybe the Alfa Romeo of Nemo.
I think they're all cooldowns.
Yeah, I think there are a few guys who came across the line with about 30 seconds to go, so I think most of them are going to be on in-laps. We do have, I think, the AI of King J is sort of a pretty brisk in-lap.
Well, I like him for the predictions.
Well, that was the race result, so Mercedes could still make some improvements from here. P11 and P14, anything could happen. The heroics into Centervot. Let's see how we go. Waiting for Vasa and Ali to retire from the session. Both of them taking their time. Just have to wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Avast to retire. There's about 20 seconds left in the session anyway, so if he does forget, there we go. Alrighty, so let's have a run through the position. So Skin starts from pole, followed by Mr. Spicer by 1/10. Ali as well, just behind there in P3, followed by Combat Saxa, Psycho, Mika, Nemo, Vasa, and Decelerate, all having to start on the soft tyres for the race. We've then got Keeper, King J, Bandcamp, Nut, Anarchy, Hero, and Baitmate rounding out the grid. So Pat rules, so we've got Hero retired at the very start, so he wants to do a last to first challenge. Baitmate actually had his force feedback disable itself when he was in the second sector, and he crashed out, unfortunately, before setting a time. So interesting that both of our lead drivers in the championship will be starting at the back of the grid. Of course, the championship's already decided. Hero claiming the World Drivers' Championship last week. So yeah, basically they'll just be having a good battle from the back of the grid and see what they can do. Just waiting for the drivers to load into the race session, pick their strategies, and we'll be underway for our formation lap. Drivers are readying up, so we'll be underway very shortly. And that cloud cover looking like it may just rain a little bit. We've got no prediction of rain at the moment, but you never know. We haven't had rain predicted before, and just towards the end of the race it starts to rain a little bit, just making it a little bit greasy and difficult for the drivers to control the cars. So hopefully we'll have that spice it up just a little bit. We did see occasionally in the Tier 1 race a little bit earlier that it was a bit processional once the DRS train kicked in, but hopefully that won't happen tonight with the Tier 2 guys. So see everyone in the top 13 on the soft tyre, only Nut, Anarchy, Hero and Baitmate on the mediums. So interesting to see the majority of drivers picking the soft tyre there. We saw most of the drivers in Tier 1 able to go about 14 or 15 laps on the soft tyre. A little bit longer if they're fresh on. I know they're able to make a one-stop work from the soft to the medium, so not too many drivers opting for the two-stop unless they had damage. So it's interesting to see is when the first driver in the top 10 is going to pull the trigger. The undercut wasn't too powerful when it was just the one lap. We saw the two Williams drivers do that in Tier 1 a little bit earlier. Geordie pitting second out of the two drivers and staying out in front of his teammate. But we did see across multiple laps, Smitty actually lost out quite a bit on the undercut. So if you're going to react to it, you've got to do it early. You can't afford to wait too long, or on this track you will pay quite a price. So Skin's controlling the field through the last couple of corners. Shortly. A fair gap though between Mr. Spicer and Ali, like in P3. Yeah, a bunch of cars coming through now as the AI takes control, so hopefully the tyre temp won't drop too much at the front. There we are, there's the AWS inside. So the two-stop strategy, they reckon hitting around lap 11, but I'd be surprised if we see anyone opting for a two-stop unless they pick up some damage or there's a safety car. Alright, drivers are all on the grid now. Lights are coming on, the engines are revving. And the final race for F1 2020 is underway for Tier 2. And a pretty steady start for most of the drivers. No major jumps, but look at the Red Bull a bit further back. It looked like Decelerate getting a pretty decent start there. Skins has had an absolute blitzing start. Got a couple wide as they come through turn 3. We had the Red Bull of Ali getting forced up. So Decelerate getting forced up onto the curb a little bit. So the Mercedes there of Keeper and Nut having to jostle for position. We got the Racing Point as well of Combat Rate going down the inside of the Red Bull of Ali at turn 4, but
comes around.
Ali able to get forward. Oh, and there's a bit of concertina happening. He called it. Nut had a little bit of a spin. It looks like Anarchy, Batemate, and Hero all getting caught up in that. I think the Alpha Tari's got some wing damage there.
The horse has damage.
Jumping up a little bit further. Bandcamp and King J going wheel to wheel through turn 6. And Bandcamp having a go at Vassar as well, who covers the inside, leaves the door open. He does a Hamilton Bandcamp, and he goes up the inside of the Alpha Tauri, sticking around the outside now. He's going to have to yield. The Alpha Tauri has the preferred line. So, Pepsi, what's the update on the cars at the back?
So off that incident that involved Hero, Anarchy, and Batemate, Anarchy with the massive damage, missing left of his wing. Hero's missing his end plate, and Bait is clean.
Okay, so yeah, we see Anarchy's peeling off into the pits. Hero decides to stay out. He did most of the Vietnamese Grand Prix with missing an end plate, so he can drive that car pretty well when it's got a bit of aero damage, but we'll just have to wait and see how much it's going to affect him.
This track won't be the greatest.
They're going to jump a little bit further up. Looks like Keeper and Nemo battling. Oh, Nemo getting squeezed up onto the grass there as the Mercedes goes blitzing through into P8. And again, he's trying to force Decelerate out onto the grass. This time Nemo getting the elbows out, and Red Bull doing well to just keep control of the car on the slick tyres. And then Greasy infield. Jumping a little bit further back, yeah, Vassar, King J going wheel to wheel again. Bandcamp up to 11th place, good start from him.
Vassar losing rear and losing 2 spots. Not getting past.
Yeah, Batemate up into P14. Hero already onto the back of Nut after that little bit of a drama to start. Now a little bit further up, and we've got Vassar and King J going wheel to wheel here. See, very close. So they come across the finish line into turn 1. Looks like Vassar's got the position done. Yeah, Ali dropping off the back of Mr. Splicer already. The gap's out to 2 seconds. Mr. Splicer has gone with Skins, though, out there in the lead of the race. Meanwhile, a little bit of a move. Hero on Nut into turn 4. And Mercedes going backwards now. So, yeah, whoever voted for both Mercedes finishing the points. So, it's going to be a big, big task here for Nut to get back into the points all the way down in 16th now. King J now very close to the back of Vassar, just outside of DRS range of Bandcamp and P11, but there's that mega was that someone Nemo off? That was Nemo absolutely somersaulting there in the background. He's still got his front wing intact. I don't know what happened there. That looked like at the final corner he just went straight off and into the wall. I don't know how he's still in this race. Anyway, Psycho getting through on Mika into turn 1. Batemate as well getting past King J as well. Mika having a think about making a move on Psycho into turn 4. Doesn't quite have the run on him just yet. Sacks up in P5. He's got a bit of a run on Combat now. Combat just hanging on to the back of Ali with some DRS. Go to the back. Hero making a move on King J. Even with that wing damage, he's still got the pace at the moment. Pinche a little bit later on the brakes, able to maintain position, but it's going to help Hero now. The compromised exit from the Alfa Romeo is going to help the Haas driver. He's got a pretty good run, uses a bit of the overtake as well as the DRS. And he puts us past the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, just in front, we saw Batemate making a move on Vassar as well into turn 4. As you see, the AlphaTauri going very wide there, just trying to carry a bit more speed than the Williams. Can't quite get the move done though. Settle for P12. Oh, the Haas there. If Hero tries to send it down the inside of Vassar. Lewis Hamilton. Just without the spin. Hero should be in front now though, and he is. Meanwhile,
had a spin.
Yeah, it looks like Dezellerate's had a spin. Bandcamp there getting past him. Not sure if there's any contact or if Dezellerate did that on his own, but he's dropped all the way back to P16. Anarchy, the only driver behind him now on the hard tyre. About 30 seconds back. Little battle for P11 now. Vassar and King J right on the back of Hero. Looks like Hero may have the pace to stay in front, even on those medium tyres with broken wing. Ooh, as the Alfa Romeo touches the grass there on turn in. Very lucky not to lose the rear of the car.
Looks like Mr. Spicer looking to make a move.
He's definitely getting closer, but still about 6 tenths back, and he's got very little ERS left. He's using quite a bit just to stay within DRS skins.
They're both using all their ERS.
Oh, jumping back. Combat's made the move on Ali, up into P3 now.
And instead of fastest.
Yeah, Racing Point, they're doing a great job. Showing a lot of pace on those soft tyres at the moment. Meanwhile, though, Batemate already up to P10 on those mediums, so he's doing a great job cutting through the field. Hero following him as well, but he will get that wing replaced during the pit stop. You have to guess that will set him a little bit behind his championship rival for the season. So I wonder if Batemate will just be able to get one back on his nemesis for the season. Meanwhile, Nut getting passed by Nemo. Going there into turn 4. And Nemo, yeah, after that strange incident in the final corner, up into 14th.
Keeper, the first one with penalty.
Few gaps starting to open up between the drivers. Got the two race leaders have gone and run away. Meanwhile, King J getting past Vassar. A bit of a battle here. You see the AlphaTauri using a lot of his ERS to stay in front. A little bit of contact on the straight as well. Likely not to do too much damage. You saw what happened when Stars and Pacey had that collision in the same spot in the Tier 1 race.
All side by side.
And King J manages to stay in front this time. He's got the position done now. Yeah, just a few gaps starting to open up between the drivers at the moment.
Combat really pushing to catch up to Spicer at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the gap down by about half a second over the last couple of laps, so he should be within DRS within another couple as well, provided his tyres don't fall off the cliff. He's doing very, very well. Still keeping a little bit of ERS in hand, but he's under a fair bit of pressure from Ali now. And Saxer as well has followed the Red Bull along. Both with DRS, so they're going to be able to save a little bit more energy than the Racing Point is. Even through those first couple of corners, he's taken another 10th out of the Williams. Oh, and he runs very, very wide there, turn 4.
Interesting line.
Yeah, pushing a little bit too hard, I think. He lost a couple of tenths there, but Very quickly getting them back. Looks like Mr. Spice, who's now caught Skins, is starting to get held up just a little bit. I wonder if those soft tyres from Skins and Mr. Spice have started just to fall off a bit. Pushing pretty hard to get that lead. And have a look, Bassa there in the middle of an Alfa Romeo sandwich. King J there in P12, Nemo just behind him in P14. 3 Alphas there in a row. Jump up a little bit. It looks like Keeper about to have a go on Mika now into turn 1.
Begins with a 3-second penalty.
Keeper's
Not
a
what
little
you
bit
want.
too far back. He's going to have another go into turn 4. Really took the gearbox bug for me, unfortunately. So I'll switch cameras so that we don't have to put up with that too much. Big Al in chat. Fun fact, Ali is 2 years older than him. Very interesting fun fact, Big Al. Thank you for that. Please keep them coming in the chat. Anyone else with any other fun facts, please share them as well for the stream. This Spice looks like he's getting a little bit closer to Skins. Using almost all of his ERS though, like he's running out. He's used all of his overtakes button stuck on or something. He's got nothing left by the time he crosses the finish line. He's touched a little bit of the grass as well on the turn in. Trin saying, fun fact, Ali is actually his brother. Yes, we did know that. I thought he was his son or something. I don't know. Can't remember. People tell me different things every stream.
He's everything at this point.
His family, that's what he is. Nemo picks up a penalty, so does King J. So both Alfa Romeos, after getting past that Alpha Tauri there, both of them picking up 3-second penalties. So Vasa still probably going to get the position.
Oh, there's a Trin fun fact now. Oh.
So battle at the front, starting to get a little bit spicy as the Williams and Mr. Spicer closing in on the Renault of Skins. Mr. Spicer picking up a penalty there as well, so he doesn't have that 3 seconds in hand. Combat's dropped off a little bit from the back of the Williams now as well. Having to defend quite a bit from Ali and Saxon now, both of them getting DRS. Further back, Psycho, Combat's teammate, under a bit of pressure as well from Mika and Keeper. So we reach the third mark of the race. And 24 laps to go. We should see the soft runners out for a couple of laps longer.
Roughly 2 laps more.
Yeah, expect the mediums to go to the end within a couple of laps now. There we go, we see the one-stop strategy pop up. Medium tyre, 13 to 16. So drivers can pit any time now and make it to the end on the mediums. Just have to wait and see who's going to pull the trigger first. Like we mentioned before the race, undercut over one lap isn't that powerful, but over a couple in clean air, you do make a lot of ground on the medium tyres. So we just have to wait and see who bites the bullet first and then who reacts and when. And this race will start to get a little bit spicy. Got a bit of time management happening at the moment. Build up a little bit more. We see Accelerate now making a move on Nut. Heading into turn 4, got the DRS. He's used absolutely all of his battery though. He does get the move done, up into 15th for the Red Bull driver. up in P3. Combat Rat still keeping within 2 seconds of Mr. Spicer, but under a lot of pressure from Ali now behind. There we go, Skins has peeled off into the pits, so he's pulled the trigger first, trying to cover off a potential undercut from Mr. Spicer.
Same
We
with
see,
Ali.
yeah, Ali peeling off as well, and the Haas of Mika coming into the pits as well. So let's see when they all trickle out. They should get into a little bit of clean air.
I'll have a look.
I think
They'll just be
Skins-
ahead of Nemo.
yeah, Skins should be in front of the Alfa Romeos. I think Ali will be behind them though.
Ali's in the bad
Yeah,
spot. He's gonna
he'll
be
be
behind 3 of them.
Yeah, a bit behind the Alpha Tauri. I'm just going to jump back now and have a look. Yep, there he is.
Mika's in a bit of fresh air as well.
Yeah, Ali in a bit of traffic, but Mika getting some fresh air, so definitely a great call from Skins. Skins onto the hard tyres though. Why has he done that? The mediums can easily go to the end from here. The hards are just a terribly slow tyre. Oh, I think that's a mistake from the Renault pit wall. That's surely
There's actually no difference in delta between the 2 tyres. It's about 4/10 difference.
4/10 is a lot though across a lap. 20 laps to go, 4/10. It's going to cost you about 10 seconds at the end of the race. But we see Mr. Splice from Saxa and Psycho all reacting. Combat Rat going long.
Probably. I don't know if that's a good choice.
Okay, so here goes Skins. Skins is coming out in front of Mr. Spicer. It's going to be close on the exit. I think Skins has got it, but he's on the hard tyre though, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Spicer peels off behind him. He's actually lost a bit of ground here, so Skins has had a very good in-lap and out-lap. Mr. Spicer must have had a pretty slow in-lap, I must say, because he's lost about a second. He was within DRS before the pit stops, and now he's well behind. If we have a little bit of a look further back, Sax has come out behind King J as well. Ali as well in that mix too. But Mika has really lost out. He's down there in 13th place. He's managed to get past Nemo.
He's not really not much happening for Mika. He's still in the same spot as he was.
Yeah.
Behind
Oh,
Psycho.
we see a little bit of a move there from Ali, trying to go on the inside of Saxa. Couldn't quite get it done. Yeah, just look at the delta now. Mr. Spicer already closed in on Skins by a couple of tenths, so those medium tyres are already starting to fire up. There we go. We see Combat Rat peel into the pits, so does Keeper. King J going into the pits as well, so it's freed Saxa and Ali to continue their battle into turn 1. Just going to keep an eye on Combat Rat, see where he comes out. So he's already lost out quite a bit. You see Sax and Ali going side by side through turn 1. This is going to help Combat Rat, who may get the jump on them. It's going to be very close in the pit exit. We see, oh, it's side by side now. They're side by side. Combat Rat just in front. Is he going to get the move done? Oh, it's very late on the brakes. It's the Ferrari. They go side by side. A little bit of contacts. Racing Point still on the inside. They're still going side by side as they go on the run. We've got the Red Bull as well, very close to the back of them. The Ferrari does have the inside line for the next corner, and he's able to get the position. And now the Red Bull's trying to force his way through to the next corner as well. Nut has retired from the session, and we see Combat Rat trying to go around the outside. We do have a safety car as well, and I think Combat has lost both positions in that. Ali was just in front when the safety car came out, and he has lost out. Looks like Nut has crashed at the exit of turn 4. Must have lost the rear on the exit curve as well, like he did at the start of the race. And this is absolutely perfect for Bandcamp. Good call in the chat by Combined. He's on those soft tyres for 15 laps. He's going to get a very cheap safety car here. Baitmate as well and Hero both peeling off into the pits. The problem for Baitmate and Hero though is they are on the medium tyre. They will have to go to the hards or stop again. This is, oh, they've got 19 laps on the soft, so it's going to be a big ask if that's what they do. Bandcamp going onto the hard tyre here. At Renault, they mustn't think that the mediums can get them to the end from here, but we've seen from every other team in both Tier 1 and Tier 2 that they've been able to do it, so I don't know, Renault not making the best strategy calls. Baitmate as well going onto the hard tyre, but obviously he had to because he was on the mediums at the time. We see Hero as well. Hero onto the softs. Is he going to try and go 19 laps on the soft tyre? That's a big, big ask for those tyres. Hero does get his front wing replaced, so I wonder if he's just preempting losing a bit of ground, getting that damage repaired. Band is in a great track position after that safety car, up into P6 now, but on the hard tyre, he should have gone the mediums. Not a great call from Renault again.
What Hero's probably trying to do with those softs is he's hoping that safety car comes in at lap 20, stays out for 4 laps.
Possibly. I mean, he may be able to nurse them to the end, but he's going to be pretty slow. I think he's probably going to try and make up ground with the soft tyres as much as he can, and then, yeah, just try and nurse them to the end from there. Maybe try and, yeah, like you say, if there's a late safety car, swap them out for another set of softs or a set of mediums if it's, you know, in the next 5 laps or so. But yeah, I think Batemate's made the right call to go into the hard tyres, so they will get him to the end. And if there's another safety car, he can chuck on a set of softs. But really, Renault guys, I think, have made a bit of a mistake with his strategy. Should have gone mediums.
Band should have gone mediums.
I think Skins as well. I mean, he was the first to pit off the soft tyre, but the mediums you saw can easily go to the end if you just look after them nicely. You know, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out, though. You never know. Apparently, the game glitched for Band. Apparently, he did want to go the medium tyre, and it wasn't his fault. So that is a real shame. So
Hero's in a bit of strife here. You can nurse him in the end, but he'll be about over 70% as soon as it gets a 34.
People in the chat saying that Hero is going to the end, so yeah, he'll be able to do it. It's just how fast he's going to be towards the end.
He can. It can be done. It's just how quickly would that tire puncture as soon as it hits it. Because it is said your tire can go as soon as it hits 75. Hero just needs to be lucky to not get a puncture at this point.
So safety car will just be waiting for the Red Bull to catch the back of the grid. Hopefully we'll be able to go racing before the end of this lap, but we may have to do another one. Yeah, the prediction is already decided. Unfortunately, with one of the Mercedes DNFing, unfortunately neither of them will get to the end.
Oh, he keeps pit.
Keep it there on the medium tyre. It's interesting. Did he pick up any damage or something?
Yeah, he's gone to soft.
Soft tyre, interesting. No wing damage, but yeah,
he will make it.
We didn't catch the crash nut. We were following another battle at the time. Okay, so we've got 17 laps remaining in the race, so we're past the halfway mark. I'm just waiting for it. In the chat, just to answer Jacob asking what happened. I'll let you guys know as soon as we're aware of what's going on. Oh, a bit of a collision with Mika apparently. That's interesting. Wonder if it'll be in the reports tomorrow. I'll just have to wait and see on that one. Okay, so still following the safety car at the moment. I do expect it to come in at the end of this lap. There we go, safety car in this lap says race control. So Skins now has control of the grid. He is on the hard tyre though, so I hope he's got those fronts nice and warm. So he's going to be under a lot of pressure from the cars behind. I would expect him to try and wait until the start finish line to actually go, because he's going to be pretty vulnerable to getting past.
I'll let you know. His tyres are not warm enough at the moment.
No, 70 odd degrees. I think he's... Oh, these
70.
are cold tyres. The hard.
He's on like 78.
Up. Yeah, I could see it on his dash from T-Cam. Skins tyres are ice cold.
Oh, we got a... Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Here we go. And he's gone. There he goes. You see the cars behind starting to scatter. They didn't expect him to go that late. Got a yellow flag. So I think the game sort of triggered that That's happened. Combat Rat up the inside of Ali. It's
Already?
squeezed into the curb. He's still going wheel to wheel. Oh, there's a Haas in the background there. That's Mika. Mika's gone straight off.
He's in the wall!
And he's out. Mika's out. Oh, and a bit of contact now between the Racing Point and the Red Bull. Still side by side of the Red Bull and the Racing Point. And just further behind as well, Psycho and Hero going wheel to wheel as well. Hero moving up to P7, Combat Rat having to stay at P5. He's still side by side with the Red Bull though. Oh, he gives him a little bit of a head and shoulder out on the curb, but the Renault Bandcamp has gone off. Band's off into the grass. And look at him tumble down the order as well, all the way down to dead last. And he's just getting going again as well. I wonder if just cold hard tyres contributed to that. Not sure if there was any contact involved. We're still seeing Hero in combat. Hero up to 5th place on the soft tyres, battling it out with Combat Rat now, but I think those soft tyres are going to make him absolutely bolt. And he's used up all of his deployment this lap though, so he doesn't have anything at all to use for the rest of the lap. He's got it in a nice toe of Ali and the run into turn 1. Is he going to make a move on the Red Bull? He is big lock up though, a bit of a collision. The Red Bull now goes down the inside and now Combat Rat having another look at him. He's up on the curb though as he's got the Red Bull on the outside. It covers to the inside. Oh, it's 3 wide now on the straight. No, the Racing Point decides to tuck back into the slipstream of the Red Bull. The Haas now down the inside into turn 4. A bit of contact between the two, but he does have the extra grip and he's able to take the position. Now we have a look at Ali tucked in behind the Haas. And he's going to have to settle for it. Combat though has a pretty good exit. Now to turn 5. He's going to have to settle for that position. He's now got his teammate right behind him as well in P7. Batemate only up to P8 after that restart. Those hard tyres really not firing for him though. Skins meanwhile is still leading the race. Those hard tyres seem to be warm enough. They were a bit cold on the restart, but just able to get it together. And he's kept Mr. Splice behind by about half a second, but DRS won't be enabled until the end of this lap. So we'll just have to see what happens from here. Go. DRS is enabled now. Hero is just outside of Saxa, so he's going to have to wait for the next time around. We'll see Combat Rat very close to the back of Ali though. P6 at the moment. Nemo picks up a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Well, a bit further back. Basso and Nemo going side by side for the final points paying position. Basso gets the position. Settle for 11th at the moment. Just have to recharge a little bit before he goes again.
I was going to say we have a big DRS trend, but Hero just broke it.
Yeah, Hero's inside. 1 second of Saxa now. Ali's dropped out a little bit behind him. And those soft tyres absolutely helping Hero tear through the field. He goes purple in the second sector on this lap as well. The Haas driver now sizing up Saxa, heading into turn 1. Don't forget Skins and Mr. Splicer both have penalties as well, so Hero is currently effectively P2. Very late on the brakes, trying to follow the Ferrari through the first couple of corners. Will he get him into turn 3 and 4? He does set the fastest lap of the race as well. He's already got a very, very good run on the Ferrari. He's using a little bit of overtake and he's got it done. He's covered the inside nicely and he's up into P3. So now he sizes up Mr. Splicer and Skins. The last 2 positions in front of him. It's a great, great comeback from Hero here. A little bit further back we've got it's Nemo and Vassa having a little bit of battle, a little bit of contact as well. You see Decelerate there picking up a 3-second penalty for track limits as well.
Oh my, Hero's gone side by side into the last corner with Mr. Spicer.
Go, terrible exit for Hero though. He lost the rear slightly. And Mr. Spicer's going to come back at him. Oh, he's so close to the back of the Haas. He's basically pushing him up the hill. He's going to have to stay in the toe though. He's going to jump into the top of the Renault in front of him now. He's going to be late on the brakes. He is, but the Haas has got the inside line. He's able to squeeze the Williams out. Oh, a bit too much curb there. We've got a yellow flag. Bandcamp looks like he's gone around again in sector 2, sorry.
And he's missing his
he's triggered the safety car. Bandcamp has triggered the safety car.
Hero's prediction of another safety car lives.
Wow, oh, this is interesting. All right, so we got 12 laps to go, so we're about at the 2/3 mark of the race. We have another
This
full
is a
safety
soft
car.
tire.
This is
Soft tire
actually,
sprint.
this has helped Bandcamp a little bit here, so he'll probably come in, chuck on the soft tire, I would imagine. He's that far back and his tires are going to be cooked, so may as well. And I wonder what Skins is going to do. He's on 9-lap-old hards. Is it worthwhile chucking on another set of softs now?
I expect basically the whole field to come in and put softs on.
Oh no, Ben's sped into the pit lane as well. Oh no. Oh, he's having a shocker, an absolute shocker.
I expect the whole field to be in for new tires.
Well, we've only got 12 laps to go. If they've got a fresh set of softs, they will last the end of the race quite comfortably.
Even a quali set will last.
Here we go, what's going to happen? We're going to see Skins peel off into the pits. No, but we see
Skins
Hero come
out.
into the pits. Skins stays out. Mr. Spicer comes in. Saxa comes in. Ali comes in.
Combat out.
stays out. Psycho stays out.
Yeah, everyone stays out.
Oh, Baitmate and King J stay out.
Keep her Zillate in. Well, this is gonna be
I'm
interesting.
surprised that the teams didn't at least split the strategies there. Surely you would cover off by sending one of you guys in with the softs and keep one person out on the harder tyre. Oh, both Red Bulls have pit, so Dezellerate's actually going to he's got
Double
wing
stack.
damage. But yeah, double stack from the Red Bull, so that would have hurt Dezellerate a little bit there.
Oh, this is interesting. Hero can get first quite easy, but he's got to go past 7 cars to get to it.
Absolutely. Anarchy's between him and Mr. Spicer as well on 22-lap-old hard. So I think that's actually AI. So, if Anarchy had actually stayed in the race, he would be in a points-paying position at the moment. So this is what we mean, guys, when we say don't rage quit from an AFR race. You never know what's going to happen. You're never out of it. Never give up.
I would expect that it's pit, because that's how he's got
AI always pits when you don't want it to pit, but when you're on 22-lap-old hards, no, I'm going to stay out and go to the end, even though everyone around me's pitting.
It's got to pit like 2 laps from the end. Well, this is just throwing a spanner in the works.
Absolutely. So at the moment, everyone's pretty much bunched up behind the safety car now, except for Keeper. So we got Keeper, Dezellerate, and Bandcamp. Oh, there's a little bit of change of position there. Looks like Anarchy's AI is doing some naughty stuff with the positions. Anarchy and Mr. Spicer looks like they're swapping positions a little bit, but
I don't know what's happening here.
I think he's trying to overtake the AI under safety car. If he gets a penalty for that, that's not going to be reversible. The car is legitimately there. Alright, so Keeper's caught up to the safety car train. Dezellerated as well is almost caught up to it. And Bandcamp's just coming up the hill now from the final corner, so he'll be able to catch the train, I'd imagine, by the end of this next lap. As Hero has left the session. Oh.
Is that an internet issue?
Would have to be. It's currently in PA. I don't think he'd, voluntarily give up this at the moment.
You never know. He's already got driver's championship.
That's true. He's actually lost spot. Why is Mr. Spicer overtaking Hero under safety car? That's not legal. Whether it's AI or not, that's poor form in my books. You can't overtake someone who disconnects under safety car.
That's 2 overtakes on the safety.
And Hero's just joined back. That's not cool, Mr. Spicer. You can't do that.
Hero's gotta be fuming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too happy with that either. I'm sure the stewards will be looking at that after the race. You can't overtake someone who disconnects from the lobby and rejoins immediately. Right, sure, their car's ghosted, but you can wait until the safety car restart to do that. It's pretty poor sportsmanship, if you ask me. I'm sure the stewards will be looking at that.
I know nothing, I see nothing. Band's in again. Wait a minute. Why is Band in? Band's just getting new tires. And it's only 5 seconds.
Someone's just collected the brake boards going into turn 4.
We got a safety car in this lap.
Excellent.
Do we get the same restart as last time?
Alright, so Skins has control of the field now. Bandcamp, even after that extra pit stop, he's come back from the mediums as well. Surely, I don't know what Renault's doing. Strategy war. Well, there's only 9 laps to go. Surely you'd have another set of softs you could run to the end. But anyway, each to their own.
Skids is on the borderline of warm.
There he goes.
He's on borderline
away.
warm.
And 2 racing
Ready
points.
to get away.
Third. Here we go. So have a few positions changed here, a little bit further back. That's where Nemo battling it out.
Oh, there goes Mr. Spice as well with Hero. Oh, this is gonna be ugly.
So
this is
P7,
gonna be ugly.
Hero P8. Spicer up to 6th, battling with Vassar now.
Oh, Vassar's been pushed off. Vassar with nowhere to go, has to use the runoff.
Now it's Mr. Splicer versus Hero. I'm sure Hero's going to be pretty annoyed at him after losing a position under safety car conditions when he DC'd. And I'm sure he'll be wanting to get past him pretty quickly.
He's giving him the good nudge for corners.
Well, he dives down the inside. Looks like Mr. Splicer tapped the Alfa Romeo as well. And Hero looks like he's got the position, so back up to P6. He's so close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Goes down the inside of King J into the final corner.
Hero's lucky no contact was made.
See there the Alpha Tauri of Vassar getting a little bit grass in the background there. Oh,
here comes Spicer.
Still got a mega run on the back of the Williams here.
Oh, this is going to be interesting into turn 1.
Oh, they're going 3 wide. Please don't go 3 wide into turn 1. Hero's got the inside line, but now Mr. Spicer's got the inside for the next corner. Is he going to leave any space on the outside? Yes, he is. So now Hero's back in front into P5. Got a yellow flag further back with the red ball. He's had a spin at turn 2. And now it's a drag race between the Haas and the Williams down into turn 4. They're still going side by side, but the Haas has come out on top. We'll see a little bit further back, Saxon King J battling it out for position as well for P7. Looks like they've all settled down now into a bit of a rhythm. Well, we've got 7 laps to go in this race. Skins, meanwhile, pulled out a bit of a lead over Combat. Psycho as well, holding the forward. So Hero needs to somehow be able to get past 4 cars now in order to win this race.
3 cars? He can get Skins on the pen.
Of course, yes.
Skins needs to hope something bad happens.
Oh, we've got another little drama. Looks like Decelerate's had a bit of a moment there out on the curb. Bandcamp's back up to P12 now, hot on the heels.
Bateman and Hero side by side.
DRS is enabled now. See,
Hero's stand behind. Is he going to send it turn 1?
Big lunge by Hero. Bateman's still got the inside line over turn 2. Oh, Hero goes out onto the curb.
Bateman gets a DRS though.
It does, but so does Hero.
Oh my.
Bateman's not using any of his ERS to try and go for it, and he decides just to sit behind the Haas for now.
Do we get team orders?
Yeah, I wonder. Mr. Spicer's on fresh soft tyres. He's behind Batemate, who's on the hards. Just wonder if Mr. Spicer's going to ask kindly to be let through.
He
goes for a lunge on his teammate. Oh, it's probably not what they wanted to have happen, but anyway, Mr. Spicer moves up to P5 now. Batemate settles to 6 now. He's under a bit of pressure from Saxer as well. Meanwhile, Hero and Psycho battling it out now for P3. Hero's been able to get through pretty comfortably.
Mr. Spicer has a shock there because he hit the grass.
And now he's lost the position to his teammate again. And now Saxa as well as King J looking to get the positions back too. Hero now within DRS range of combat route for P2. Red battle happening and brewing as well for the lead of this race in the dying laps. Mr. Spice from Batemate, the 2 Williams driver, still having a little bit of a battle. Looks like Batemate doesn't have any DRS, so he's going to have to let his teammate go now. Having a little bit of a look further back. Keeper and Accelerate going side by side into turn 1. The Red Bull's able to get the position. Keeper has to settle for 13th now. And a bit further back, yeah, Ali making up some grounds on the AI of Anarchy. Hero now having a good look at the racing point of combat. Doesn't decide to go for a lunge. Combat positions kind of nice in the middle of the road, but look at the traction that Hero gets out of the exit. And he just swoops around the outside of the racing point, moves up to P2, and the effective lead of the race. Skins has 3 seconds of penalties. So it's going to be pretty tall order for Skins to pull that gap on Hero, who's on the fresh, soft tyres. Coming a little bit further back, Saxa and Batemate now battling it out. Oh, a big squeeze from Batemate. Saxa having to take to a little bit of a pit entry to be able to avoid collision with the Williams driver. Goes up to P6. Meanwhile, Psycho lost the position to Mr. Spicer. Goes very, very wide. Batemate picks up the penalty for cutting the curb. Looks like Psycho's lost out big time there. He's under a lot of pressure now from Saxa behind.
That's a bit of contact.
Yeah, he's got some DRS to defend with though, so he'll be able to stay in front of the Ferrari for now.
There was a bit of contact with Psycho and Mrs. Spicer that pushed him wide.
Hero now just within a couple of tenths of Skins, P2 and P1. Skins doesn't have a lot to defend with. He's got 17 lap old hard tyres. He's going to be very slow compared to the Haas. He's just the car in the middle of the track, and now Hero's going to try to do the same thing he did to Combat Rat. Tries to go around the outside, but Skins gets a little bit more traction than Combat did. But look at the pace that Hero has. He's just going to be able to blitz past with DRS at the moment on the climb up the hill.
He's not even using ERS.
Not yet. He's got the DRS open. I think he's going to be waiting for the second DRS zone here. Might just be taking this moment just to recharge a little bit, make sure he can get the move done. He knows that Skins has a few seconds of penalties. Oh, he tries to go to the inside. He gets a penalty himself.
That is dumb. No.
That was a silly move. He saw Skins go out wide to turn back into the corner. And yeah, he just took way too much curve and picked up the penalty himself. And he goes down the inside of the Renault, gets the move done. He's up to the lead. But now this Combat Rat, is he able to stay within 3 seconds of Hero now? Because he will get the race win if he's able to do so.
Hero can defend that move all he wants, but that is his fault.
Meanwhile, Keeper and Nemo going side by side. Oh, they're still battling it out in sector 2. Nemo's able to get the position done, stays in P11. Meanwhile, oh, his big dive there from Keeper up on the curb. He cuts a little grass as well, suddenly flying. Bandcamp's back up to the points as well, up into P10. Just a couple of tenths behind Vazza now, so great recovery from him after that spin a little bit earlier. Now Hero's pulled out 1.5 seconds from Skins. Importantly though, Combat Rat 8 tenths behind Skins as well. Hero does set the fastest lap of the race, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. 3 laps to go. Saxon Psycho. Saxon Psycho now battling it into turn 1. Batemate's there as well. And Saxon looks like he's pulling away now from Psycho. He's been on those mediums for 18 laps now. Battling with Batemate. He's been on 16 lap old hards.
Combat gotta be hoping those softs on Hero's car has dived because of how much he's pushed.
Ooh, a bit of contact there between Nemo and Keeper there into turn 4. Looks like Nemo had to get right out of the throttle to avoid turning the Mercedes there. Got a penalty for his efforts. And now Ali sends it down the inside of the Alfa Romeo. Moves up into P12.
I would like to point out, Hero has basically won. Combat is 3 seconds out.
There he goes. Yep. He's got the clean air now, so he's able to put in the times.
Combat going to send it down the inside of Skins. Skins turns in on him though. Oh, where's Skins gone?
Oh, he's had a spin. Skins has had a spin and he's been auto reset. back to the track in the middle of the road. He's now down to P10. He's just been passed by his teammate as well. Combat Rat lost the position to Mr. Spicer as well. Goes up to P2. And Skins has left the session as well. So, unfortunately, some issues there for the Renault driver.
That was a pretty,
Whoa. Keeper gets forced off the track by Ali there. Mercedes driver battling hard with Red Bull. They're still side by side on the run down into turn 5. Mercedes has the inside line, forces the Red Bull out onto the curb as well. And he's holding the inside line, so he's able to force him out. Meanwhile, Hero comes up the hill to start the final lap of the race. In fact, to be the final lap of the race for F1 2020 as well. Combat Rat has picked up a 3-second penalty too. And he's tumbled through the order. He's had a little bit of a spin. Combat Rat has lost a ton of positions as well. He's now in P9. He's got a puncture, or is that just the gearbox glitch?
I think it's a gearbox.
Alright, he's out of points. Look at that. Ali and Keeper now battling a drag race. And we've got Nemo there as well. They're going to go almost 3 wide into turn 1.
Stackfoot is going to get second at this rate.
This is absolutely nuts.
This is
Jump a little
insane.
further up. Batemate and Psycho still going side by side for P4 at the moment.
Pushed off.
Bandcap's up to 7th place. Look at all the penalties around him as well. Bandcap has absolutely nothing. He's going to gain so many places at the end of this race. Up to spinning big at the end. We've got Ali. He's had another spin as well. Looks like he may have come together with Psycho in that little battle pack.
Combat?
Sorry, not Psycho. No, not Combat either. Actually, I think that might have been one of the other drivers in that little midfield battle. And he's tumbled all the way down in order now.
Band is actually going to come up to 4th at this rate.
Absolutely, he's had a mega restart, and now Keeper and Skin still battling it out, but that's obviously the AI now. But kudos to Hero, he's won yet another race in Tier 2 for Season 6, and his AI spins and loses the wheel across the line. Mr. Spice will come across the line, P2, and Saxa goes up to P2 now on penalties. Psycho will come across the line now on P4, Batemate 5th, King J 6th. Bandcamp, where is he going to be? 4th place for Bandcamp. I bet he didn't think that after the second spin that he had that broke his front wing. And now we've got Ali about to come across the line. In 14th place. There we go. So that is it for F1 2020. Hero, he's doing a pose off the screen. It's just his style. Great effort from Hero. Great championship for him. Very well done indeed. Saxa, great effort to come P2. Very well done as well. I think that was Mr. Spicer, I think, who came 3rd. Batemate did a great recovery drive as well. But Bandcamp as well, finishing 4th place. Great effort from him. And there we go. So Hero gets the fastest lap of the race as well with 108.8. Saxa P2, Mr. Spicer P3, Bandcamp P4. Great effort from him. Psycho 5th. Good result. We've seen Psycho have a bit of trouble sometimes in the races converting from good quality, and he's done very well this time. Batemate finished 6th after starting 17th. Great effort from him. King J as well, P7 after starting 12th. Vasta finishes P8. Skins, unfortunately, P9 after starting 1st. And Decelerate comes across in P10. We've then got Keeper, Combat, Nemo, Ali, Anarchy, Mika, and Nut rounding out our grid. Alrighty, so now is the time to wrap up and reveal the calendar for Season 7. And here it is. So we will be starting at Bahrain on the 8th of August. So we've got a few weeks to go. And it'll give everyone a good chance to pick their teams, have a bit of a rest, and get used to the new game. So looking forward to that. So we're basically going to be following the in-game calendar, and that'll go all the way through to Christmas break, which will be around about, I think, 19th of December will be our final race for the year. That'll be at Saudi Arabia. And then we'll be having a short break of a couple of weeks over the Christmas New Year period. We'll be back at Abu Dhabi on the 16th of January. And then we'll be doing Portugal and formerly the San Marino Grand Prix, also known as Imola, will be our final race of the season. Of course, those DLC tracks are dependent on them being released before the scheduled time for the season. So if they are not released at the time they're scheduled, we'll try and put them on at the end of the season as well. But we may just have to take them off depending on what the game release schedule is. Now, while I have you all here, we'll also go through the driver lineup for next season as well. So we've been able to go through everything here. Bear with me 2 seconds and I'll just find them for you. So Tier 1 will be Mikau, Fever, Big Al, Trin, Pacey, Artanis, Potsy, Geordie, Panda, T-Mac, Sid, Stars, Combined, Flyboy, Smitty, Pondon, Wahid, Hero, Baitmate and Simdogger. Tier 2 will be Quantum Effect, Combat Rat, Wingman, Ali, Saxa, Bandcamp, Skins, Psycho, Mika, Mr. Spicer, Nut, Keeper, King J, Bully, Decelerate, Vasa, Nemo, Anarchy, Apollo Pepsi, and Kalios. And announcing as well, we will be running a third tier for Aussie Formula Racing next season, which will be myself, Lights, Squid, CRXQZ, Wombi, Grills, Dump and a Stump, Parker Hoy, Jacob Meister, Crush, Jeremy, Scavy, Volcanic, CK80, Lick, Farmer Sam, Conrad, Scarsouls, Bluey, and Seamesk 8. And that is it for the tiers for next season. So of course we will be having a bit of a change. So we will have in the commentary box returning next season. Unfortunately, I will not be doing lead commentary next season, but I can confirm that Kunai Zero will be returning to do the Tier 1 commentary for Aussie Formula Racing. So it would be great to have him back doing some graphics as well for next season. So really looking forward to that. I will be helping out during the Tier 1 stream as well. So that'll be good to do. Tier 3 will be running at 5:30 p.m. on the Sunday evening as well before Tier 1, which will stay at 7 p.m. Melbourne time. And then, of course, we'll be having Tier 2 as well at 8:30 p.m. Melbourne time. So this all will be announced on the Discord as well. I'll be posting that in a moment. But before we go, just like to thank absolutely everyone for all the drivers in Tier 1 and Tier 2. We couldn't do this league without all of your support, so thank you very much for that. Also to the reserve drivers for helping fill in. Thank you as well to all the commentators and lobby hosts. You guys help us out quite a lot getting our stream covered and out there too. Big thank you to the admins as well for all the behind the scenes work, and a big shout out as well to our stewards who of course help keep on top of any in-race incidents as well. So it's often a thankless task, so thank you all to all of those guys for all of your efforts too. And thank you so much to everyone else, all the fans who tune in each week for all of our stuff. Thank you to my co-commentators this evening, Apollo Pepsi, always been a big help as well, and also to Bandcamp and to Baitmate for earlier this evening. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. We'll probably do some streams and some fun lobbies while we test the game as well for multiplayer. Also, this graphic is from Kunai Zero as well combined. So thank you very much for the kind words. But yeah, definitely Kunai Zero for that one. He's already starting to work on some very nice stuff for next season. But again, thank you everyone for all of your help. Yeah, we'll do some testing and some streaming of F1 2021 over the next few weeks before we start the new season. Thank you so much, everyone. Up at Gus Rules, and we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye.